So you're setting New Year's resolutions for your business? Stick with me as we cover some do's and don'ts so you can come away with a list of resolutions you will actually keep. What is it about the new year, right? New year shows up and all of a sudden we think we have to resolve all of these new things. Meanwhile, we've been thinking about them all year, but we think, okay, it's the new year, so now's the time for me to write these things down. These New Year's resolutions to be healthier, lose weight, grow my business, read more, be a better parent, like all the things we resolve. And statistically, we know that within a few weeks of setting resolutions, people stop. I know when I go to the gym at the beginning of the year, it's packed. Like I can barely walk through it, right? And it's hard to get on a machine, like things are kind of backed up. But within 3 weeks, it's back to the regular people that were there before. Why is that? Why don't New Year's resolutions really stick? So first off, let's get to the don'ts, like what I recommend you don't do, because it's not going to help you reach your goals this year. First, I'm laughing because you're probably not going to be surprised by this, but first, don't set New Year's resolutions. Just stop. Don't do it. Don't set them for your personal life. Don't set them for your business life, because here's what's going to happen. When you set a resolution, you put it out there, right? Or you write it down, and a few weeks later, you forget about it. And then you remember it, and then you start to beat yourself up about it. I see this happen over and over, especially in the areas of health. That can be super challenging and also demotivating. And so in your business, definitely don't set New Year's resolutions, because you probably won't follow through with them. And then you're going to end up just, beating yourself up and wondering why it didn't work. The reason it doesn't work is because resolving to do something isn't the same as actually setting a clear goal, which we'll talk about today. So throw out the resolutions and stop feeling like it's something you have to do, and don't do it because everyone else is doing it. Second, don't live someone else's dream this year. Oh my gosh, I could talk about this forever, because there were so many people that I emulated, and I tried to live all of their dreams. It felt like I tried to emulate their business, or I tried to emulate their marketing, or I tried to emulate their writing journey or their journey as an author. And it was exhausting. Trying to live everyone else's dream is so exhausting, because underneath that is a limiting belief that you can't have the dream that you want. And that's a lie. You get to have the dream you want, but the key is you have to lean into your heart and just ask yourself, what is my true heart's desire? What do I really want? Not what I've been told I should want, not what other people in my industry want, not what my family has told me I should want, right? But here in your heart. And when we have our clients drop down into their heart and answer this question, it's amazing the clarity that they get. So even now in this moment, as long as you're not driving or doing something with heavy equipment, I'm going to ask you to just close your eyes for a moment and move from your head into your heart. You can feel the difference, right? And scientists say that our heart is like a thinking unit. Just like our brain, our heart is so powerful, and our heart knows, right? And so as you drop down into your heart, I just want you to ask yourself, what do I really want to create in the next 12 months? What's my dream? What do I want most? Just notice what pops up for you. Good. Go ahead and open up your eyes. And I invite you to do that regularly when you feel stuck. When you feel like you've been overthinking something, or you're not sure about something, drop from your head into your heart and just ask that question. What do I really want right now? What's really going to work for me? And then next, on my list of don'ts, don't think that you have to think small. That's just a belief. There's an epidemic in our world of small thinking. And it's because of our environments, it's because of our conditioning, it's because of who we've surrounded ourselves with. But I want you to know right now in this moment that you thinking small, that's just a belief. That's just what you've given yourself permission to do. And fourth, on my list of don'ts, don't quit before you get there. We're going to talk about setting some powerful goals for yourself. And what you're going to notice is that once you create really powerful goals and you're on the path to achieving them, you'll find that there's times when you want to stop, or it'll get so uncomfortable that you'll want to stop, or you'll get filled with fear or doubt that it's possible for you and you'll want to stop. And the reason I'm saying this is because I've lived all of this and I still live it. And I've just gotten really good at noticing where I want to stop. And for me, years ago, I didn't want to be visible. I wanted to stop before I stepped onto a stage. I had written my first book called Selling with Intention, and I put it out in the world, and I did a book launch, and, people surprised me and, came and bought my books, a lot of books, actually. We sold so many books that night. We sold over $5,000 worth of books, which for most of you might not seem like a big deal. But for me, it was such a surprise because, first of all, I didn't think there was that many people that would come to my book launch. And second, that they were buying, 2 or 3 to gift to people was so meaningful. The reason I share this is because as soon as I got the book out there, people started asking me to speak on stages. And at that time, I had what you call glossophobia. You can Google it. It's the deepest fear of public speaking. And so I had this tremendous fear. And so when people would ask me to speak, or they would ask me how much I charge to speak, I wanted to just say, I don't do that. That's not part of my business. But there was something bigger than me. There was this calling to step onto stages. And I knew I had to do it. It was like I didn't have a choice. So somehow my terrible fear of public speaking was overpowered by this calling to stand on stages and help as many people as I could. That's what I would hear all the time. Ursula, you're supposed to be on stages. You're supposed to be helping. You're supposed to be connecting with people. You don't get to sit down and be quiet. You don't get to not stand on stage. And because I noticed when I didn't listen to that clear guidance, my business started to slow down. It was almost tanking. So finally I started to say yes. I started to say yes to speaking on stages. I got help from other people. I got help from people to overcome my fear of public speaking. I got help so I could understand how to deliver a keynote on stage. I got as much support from other coaches and trainers as I could. And my business took a quantum leap forward because I was willing to keep going. So don't stop. That is my last one on my list of don'ts. Next up, I'm going to share my list of do's. These are the things I want you to follow through with and take action on so that you can achieve whatever it is you want in the next 12 months. First, have a very specific stretch goal. Have a very clear goal for your revenue, for the things that you want to complete in your business. And again, these are the goals that you really want, not your small thinking goals, but the goals that really get you excited, that get you out of bed in the morning, they get you energized. Have a list of those specific goals. Then work backward from the end result to see how to get there. For example, if you want $1 million business, step into 12 months into the future and close your eyes and ask your subconscious mind, as long as you're not driving, close your eyes and ask your subconscious mind, what are the first 2 steps that I need to take or that I needed to take when I look back that were outside of my comfort zone that moved me forward? And immediately your subconscious mind will tell you what you need to do to reach that result. Third on my list of do's, make sure your goals are aligned with your values. This kind of goes back to my don't of don't live other people's dreams, but it's a do as long as it's aligned with what you believe is important in your life. If you've never done a values exercise, I want to encourage you to do that, to write down what you truly value. For me, it's about my spirituality, my connection to a higher power. It's about my family. It's about community. It's about freedom. It's about friendship. It's about connecting with our clients, right? Those are the things that I most value. And so when I think about setting goals for the next year, I really tune into whether or not that goal is aligned with me. If it's not aligned with my values, I take it off the list. And fourth on our list of do's today, hire a coach or a mentor to hold you accountable. Yes, I am a coach. Yes, I live in this world, but let me tell you, I would not live without a coach any longer. I have to have a coach for everything because to me, it's the fastest and easiest way to reach a goal. And I hire coaches based on, of course, their specific skill set. So when I write a book, I have a book writing coach. When I'm struggling with parenting, I have a parenting coach. When I want to grow my business, I have a business coach. When I want to grow my marketing, I have marketing coaches and consultants who help me. You are 95% more likely to reach your goals simply by having a coach. It's the reason why top athletes in the world have multiple coaches as well. So why shouldn't we as business owners have as many coaches as we want to move forward in our business and in our life? Because you've been hanging out this whole time, I want to share my pro tip with you. My pro tip is that when I make an investment in my business, whether it's a coach, whether it's another marketing company, whether it's hiring someone, I expect, this is my belief, I expect a 10 times return on that investment. And when that belief turns into an expectation, notice I'm saying I expect, right? I go from I believe that to I expect that to happen. There's something that shifts, right? And that expectation might not come through the way that I thought, things might not work out as perfectly as I would have hoped, but somehow, some way, because that's the expectation I hold, there is a 10 times return on my investment. I remember when I hired a coach, and it was quite a few, maybe 5 years ago in my business, and I hired a coach to coach me, and the investment was $25,000 for 30 days of coaching. I know some of you were just like, what? $25,000 for 30 days. I'd been following this coach for a long time, and I knew I wanted to work with him, and I was excited to work with him for a short amount of time because I knew what could shift in that time. And again, when I hired him, I said, $25,000, 10 times return on that. I'm going to bring $250,000 in because of my work with him. And sure enough, I brought in more than $250,000 from hiring this coach. So that's what I'm saying. Like, that was my expectation, and I invite you to have that expectation too. Thanks for hanging out with me today. It was really fun to talk about the do's and don'ts of New Year's resolutions and truly how to set goals that will move you forward in your business. We covered the don'ts and we covered the do's. If this video really resonated with you, stay with me because next up, we're going to talk about how you can set business goals for the new year. And remember, your 2X is waiting for you too.